From Portland International Raceway, the BitNile.com Grand Prix of Portland is in the books, and for the first time since 2005, the championship is over. Alex Palou is your two-time NTT INDYCAR Series Champion. We got to speak to him in the press conference. Here's what he had to say.
It's been, as you described it, it's been an amazing season. We just had fast cars everywhere, and we've been able to maximize our results even on the bad weekends, and to finish here at Portland with the win feels amazing. We have one race left that we won there last year, so I'm feeling pretty confident, and obviously, yeah, clinching the championship makes me feel a little bit more relaxed, obviously. Ya, la verdad que increíble. Yo creo que desde el primer año que estoy aquí en INDYCAR ha ido subiendo los seguidores de INDYCAR en general. Y bueno, en general yo creo que INDYCAR ha estado subiendo, pero obviamente al tener un piloto español ha habido mucho más interés. Así que es bonito verlo, que cada vez sigue creciendo más, que la prensa le interesa, a los fans les interesa, así que bueno, nada, a seguir creciendo y a darle la oportunidad a más gente de conocer la INDYCAR y lo, creo yo, lo buen producto que tenemos.
Now, of course, Chip Ganassi also stopped by as well, too, and we also heard from Felix Roscoe and Scott Dixon here what both of them all had to say about the races as well.
Yeah, it's been a really good weekend for us. Our McLaren Smart Stop was just really good, rolling off the truck, and yeah, I was really bummed yesterday after qualifying. We had something break in the steering rack, and we had to pit before we could do our lap in Q2. So it was definitely more in it than our starting position showed. And yeah, what a race! That was really good fun. It kind of went our way as well. I mean, we kind of gambled on staying out on reds, but it worked out to the yellow in the end, and we had to obviously save the tires a bit. So I think it wasn't the winning strategy, but it was for sure enough for a podium. So really happy with the comeback we did.
Yeah. It was definitely a great milestone to have first and second totally sewn up before going into the last race is very special. But congrats to Chip on his 15th championship and Alex's second. They had a fantastic race today. Obviously, I think the starting position and us starting on the tyres that we did definitely helped play out the way that it did, and yeah, it was a little bit frustrating with some of the traffic and some of the pit sequences that we were in, and kind of lost some time during those those crossovers, but it is what it is. Everybody probably fought with it for most of the race, and then race control kind of messed with the finish of the race a little bit there with I don't know why they keep doing it, but I guess that's the way we race under those conditions now. So yeah, positives, huge weekend for the team, and yeah, I don't know, it's kind of cool. I can't really change anything in the championship. I shouldn't say cool, but relaxing, I guess, going into the last one. I can only be second, so maybe go on vacation.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I remember one time with one of our championships with Alex Zanardi, Morris Nunn said to him, is after he'd won the championship, he won another race. And I thought that was a pretty big statement today. Just before the race, I said to Alex, hey, let's go wrap this thing up today. And he said, for sure. He said, we're going to wrap it up with a win. I said, oh, okay. So that was pretty big, I thought.
Now, one of the big things that did shake up the race was a late caution. This late caution made it to where we saw essentially a lot of strategies were messed over. We saw some people saying it almost felt like a little bit of race manipulation. But one of the big things we know, race control has this habit of if a caution was to come out during green flag pit stops, they tend to let it go until the end. It's definitely going to be something worth talking about tomorrow on Grid Life Wrap-Up. And I would not be surprised if Ben Schneider and Brandon Crossan will be talking about it on the Encore show Monday night. Be sure to tune in to both shows tomorrow on the Grid Network. So be sure to subscribe to the Grid Network. We're going to have a full recap tomorrow on Grid Life Wrap-Up. That will include Formula 1, MotoGP, and NASCAR. Then the Encore show where we're going to recap more racing, including the Moto2, Moto3, Indy Next, USF Pro and USF 2000. We'll recap those races as well. So a lot of action all week long, and then of course back to normal Wednesday grid tonight, and then we do this all over again next Saturday with Grid Life pre-race. Joe San Diego from Portland International Raceway, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you want to see more action like this, be sure to become one of our Patreon. Invest into Grid Network. We got a talented team that is capable of bringing you on-track coverage throughout 2024. Please invest in us. We'd love to send everyone across the world covering motorsports for you, the viewers. Thank you, and have a good night.